recording. I'm going to get us started onto Facebook. Give me about a minute or 30 seconds once it says it's live, because it goes live before it actually shares to the group.
I get you. All right. So you tell me when, and then I'll start talking.
I will.
Sounds good. You know I love to talk. Yes, everything about Sweeney Todd is creepy. I do like it, though. So there is that.
Or a Fleet Street. Best part is Mrs. Lovitz is originally played by Mrs. Potts, Angela Lansbury.
Oh, really?
Very, very young Michael Crawford is the sailor love interest.
That's kind of hilarious. I didn't know that.
Fun stuff.
All right, well, I'm going to start hunting this person down while we're hanging out.
Oh, great. So
hunting people down is very Sweeney Todd.
We are not quite actually live on the page yet.
You're a wolf. Here we go. Add friend. Message. Howdy. By the way, I injured my thumb last night, and typing on my phone is suddenly very difficult. I didn't realize how much.
All right, friends, we are now in speaker view and live on Facebook with the Midrealm Bardic Showcase for the month of March. Enjoy!
Hey, welcome everybody to the Midrealm's March Bardic Showcase. Who can believe it's almost been a year? I can't. Anyways, I'm so excited for this one. The theme for this month is hero or heroes, depending. And I have a whole slew of awesome performers lined up for you guys this evening. Our first performer is Ladylia Dunn. So, Leah Dunn, if you would please take it away.
Thank you so much. We Sternfeld Rapier Bards took it upon ourselves 4 years ago to start writing praise poems for the crown combatants in the fall and their consorts in the spring, which was a real challenge for me because I was brand new to the SCI. I didn't know any of these people, and we were pulling names out of hats to see who got to write for whom. So that meant you got to be all sneaky and stalky and go see them on Facebook and find out who they're married to or who they're dating or who their squires are and learn all the good scoop that you possibly can. And then we got to write the poems, trying to tailor them to that particular person. I drew Sir Jamie von Atzinger's name, and I knew nothing about this man, but everyone told me such wonderful things about him that I knew that I was writing about a hero. And then I later set it to music. The funny thing was, when we finally performed them all, everyone that we were writing for was stuck in a Shiv meeting, so none of them got to hear any of the things that we wrote about them. I don't think he's ever heard it. So this is a song that I call Raise a Hand. Raise a hand for Sir Jamie von Atzinger. Raise a hand if you know well this man. Raise a hand if you count him your comrade. Raise a hand if you've lived where he stands. Raise a hand if you've fought upon battlefields, surrounded by throngs of the foe, without any good kinsman to aid you, and with no route of true safety to go. Raise a hand, and when every known pathway seems dire, when all hope of victory is lost, there appears smiling Jamie full-fired, and the enemy pays supreme cost. Jamie lays on with fervor and vigor. Jamie routs every blade in your way. Jamie slays all the smaller, the bigger, and then disappears into the fray. Raise a hand. Stand ye now if you count Jamie worthy. Stand ye now if you value his smile. Stand ye now if you'd follow Sir Jamie to the mouth of Hell's Gate and a mile. For the measure of man is his measure, and the worth of a man is his truth. So we rise now to praise him with pleasure, and to stand for a knight of great worth. Stand ye now, raise a hand if you fought upon battlefields, outnumbered as 2 fighting 5, with a hero like Jamie to aid you, and the best hope and chance to survive. Raise a hand for Sir Jamie, the knot singer. Raise a hand for his heart true and good. Raise a hand if you count him your comrade, and your land stands preserved, for he stood. Raise a hand, raise a hand, raise a hand.
Yay! Well, that was beautiful. And also, Jamie's one of my best friends, so that made me extra happy to hear. I was messaging him on Facebook like, Jamie, they're singing a song about you. Get on now.
That was amazing.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
So,
You are welcome.
our next performer, hang on, let me get my little sheet pulled up here. I got distracted there. Our next performer is going to be, oh gosh, he's not on. I'm going to message him. Our next performer is going to be Albreda Ismeria. Albreda, if you would please unmute yourself and take it away.
Okay, so this is a song that is based on an actual siege in the town of Beauvais in 1472, and a single girl is credited with having prevented the siege. She was born with the name of Jean Linné, and she earned the name of Jean the Hatchet, Jean Hachette. Raise up, actually, let me get a note. Note's good. Raise up your sword, oh bring the axe down, send soldier and standard to fall to the ground. Freedom is worth all the struggle and sweat, step up to the battle like Jean Hachette. I was working high up the cathedral's walls when a crow made me look with its squabbling calls. I was watching the hills where the bird flapped and crowed, when out of the west the Burgundians rode. King Louis and Charles, Duke Burgundy, fought over cities and towns. The Kings Louis had fought. Charles sent men out to pillage and slay. They set up their tents and laid siege to Beauvais. Raise up your sword or bring the axe down, send soldier and standard to fall to the ground. Freedom is worth all the struggle and sweat, step up to the battle like Jean Hachette. It was June 27th and spirits were low, and the siege ladders spanning the moat down below. The Duke's greater numbers were winning the day. A soldier with a standard topped the walls of Beauvais. A farm girl just 16 named Jean Linné grabbed up a hatchet and entered the fray. With vigor and will cut the enemy down, send soldier and standard to fall to the ground. Raise up your sword, oh bring the axe down, send soldier and standard to fall to the ground. Freedom is worth all the struggle and sweat, step up to the battle like Jean Hachette. The men cheered the girl and their spirits soared high. If she could do that, they'd more strength to try. The townsfolk and guards rallied as the sun set. They jumped into battle like Jean Hachette. The battle raged on and the garrison strived. Next morning the king's reinforcements arrived. Now each June 27th we'll march through the town to remember the jeune fille that kept the siege down. Raise up your sword or bring the axe down, send soldier and standard to fall to the ground. Freedom is worth all the struggle and sweat. Step up to the battle like Jeanne Hachette. The king gave her gold and a man and a fete, for Jean Lenet fought and became Jeanne Hachette. A hatchet indeed, one that Charles would rue. Her stroke cut Duke Burgundy's triumph in two. A woman can make the determining blow, but you can't make a difference if you don't go. Your strength in great numbers, although that is true. Just one makes a difference. Let that one be you. Raise up your sword or bring the axe down, send soldier or standard to fall to the ground. Freedom is worth all the struggle and sweat. Step up to the battle like Jeanne Hachette. Lift up your voices for Jeanne Hachette. Fight for your sisters like Jeanne Hachette. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. That was such a lively song, and I appreciate you bringing it for us this evening. Our next performer is Tommaso. So, Tommaso, if you would please unmute and take it away.
Now winter is over, I'm happy to say, and we're all met again and our ribbons so gay. And that's way too high. And we're all met again on the first day of spring to go about dancing with Jack in the Green. Jack in the Green, Jack in the Green, to go about dancing with Jack in the Green. Now Jack in the Green is a very strange man. Though he dies every autumn, he's born every spring. And every year on his birthday, we will dance through the streets. And in return, Jack, he will ripen our wheat. Jack in the Green, Jack in the Green, to go about dancing with Jack in the Green. With his mantle he'll cover the trees that are bare, and our garden so trim with his jacket so fair. And our fields he will sow with the hairs on his head, and our grain it will ripen till old Jackie is dead. Jack in the Green, Jack in the Green, to go about dancing with Jack in the Green. The sun is half up, it betokens the hour that the children arrive with their garlands of flowers. So let the music and dancing begin, and touch the young heart of young Jack in the Green. Jack in the Green, Jack in the Green, to go about dancing with Jack in the Green.
Lovely. Thank you so much. And that was a little bit different for you. You don't usually sing a cappella. That was nice, mixing it on up there. I like
Sometimes
it.
even start in the right key.
Don't we all? Sometimes. Our next wonderful performer is Master Tanis. So, Master Tanis, if you would please unmute yourself and take it away.
Thank you very much, Damon. This piece is an original entitled No No Defeat, based on a man that many of us growing up got us inspired into this game we call the SCA in the first place. What's he that wishes so? My cousin Westmoreland? No, my dear cousin, if we are marked to die, we are enough to do our country loss. Yet, if to live, the fewer the men, greater the share of honor. When marching through outnumbered, you can hold your head high. When the battle is won and the songs are all sung with history's whistle sigh, you'll know you were there, that battlefield where your kingdom won the day. Alongside your king, your sword it did sing as you heard King Harry say, no, no defeat. Upon this day a feast be held, from whence the day's name derives. Let our foes now know as our courage shows, we have arrived. St. Crispin's Day, this day be called. Remember it when you're old. To every son be taught of every man who fought the deeds of this day so bold. And you'll know no defeat, which not one man more from his merry shore. Faith, my cause, no more. Let honor abound to those around who today through the blood, muck, and gore, Crispin shall ne'er go by without a mighty cry from those of you who fought so few and weren't afraid to die. And you'll know no defeat. Men in England abed who now rest their heads, let them think themselves accursed, that they didn't share, nor would they dare, lest their bows be burst. They'll hold themselves cheap, and they shall weep whene'er this day draws nigh, as we and our sons recall the deeds we've done as we sung this battle cry. And you'll know no defeat. March on to Agincourt, and no defeat to war.
Very rousing. That was delightful. Thank you so much for bringing that. I'm so glad that you participated this evening. It's rare to get you, but every now and then I poke and I'm like, you want to do it this month? You want to do it? So thank you so much for participating with us.
You are very persuasive.
Our next performer is Taliesin. So Taliesin, if you would unmute yourself and take it away.
So I will sing of those who came before the heroes that we remember. We remember Beowulf, who defeated the monsters, but do we remember who first made that hall? Listen and learn this ancient lore, and hear of heroes hailed in death. Sit in silence, hear my song, track the trails of treasured swords. Hear of Hilfdina, father of Hrothgar, who made the mighty mead hall Heorot. Founded before the fear of Grendel's fury that felled the fighters at table. Hilfdina's hearth was the heart of his land, where gold and gear was given freely. The worthy warriors that walked that hall were glad of glory that glowed like the moon in the empty ark of the ebony void. Their Lord was loved, for he led them well, and kept his people with care and honor, befitting a fair-hearted folk's defender. Keen for conquest, Hrothgar counted many men among his vassals, loyal lords with lancing blades, shining shields, and shapely helms. But his fading father Hilfdina fought a weary war with waning years, against which gear could gain him nothing. Death was due the final dance. They laid their lord to rest, a lyre set beside his sword and shield. Wrought of ruddy gold it rang, bright and brave with strings unbroken. Every eye was awed to see gear and garments rich with gold, and rings around that regal bier, stark and stern in purpose stacked. Forward fared the funeral ship, loosed a light, it left the shore. Fluttering flames, it flew from sight. Its sorrow seared the kinsmen's souls who watched the wild watery grave receive their sire in bitter silence. No one knows what seas our noble king and keeper crossed in death. Our Lord is lost, his gold is gone, his memories missed, his song has ceased.
Thank you, Taliesin, for bringing your performance to us this evening. I appreciate you participating. Our next performer is Mistress Zof. So, Mistress Zof, I'm excited for you to participate. I know that we kind of haven't been able to for the past couple times, so this is exciting. Take it away.
Mighty are the warriors of the Midrealm, and I would tell you of one, just one, a knight who served as king. The war was coming, the Pensic War, and so he gathered his lady and their 4 beautiful children into the cart, and they traveled to the Pensic War. They arrived early in the morning, before dawn had even broken. Now, he was a knight and a count, and so the land was his to choose where they would put their pavilion. And he saw the beautiful tree. And so he said, "Here we shall sleep." And so he began to lay out the pavilion. And as he did so, he heard above him this buzzing noise. He looked up. There was a nest of hornets. "Oh," he said, "I shall not be defeated by these hornets." And so he sat and thought, as all good knights do, "How shall I defeat these hornets?" "Aha!" he said. And he went to his lady and said, "Give to me some of the cloth you have brought." And so she did. And so he took his eldest son and told his eldest son to hold down the branch. And then the knight was going to wrap the cloth around the nest and pull it from the branch. And so it began to happen. The son pulled down the branch, but before our wonderful knight could wrap the cloth around, some beautiful young ladies began to walk by, and the son became distracted, and the branch began to move like so. The hornets burst out of the hive and began to dive bomb the knight and his son. Now, his lady, she was not only beautiful, but she was wise. She grabbed the other children and then dragged the eldest son into the cart and closed the curtains tight. Finally, the hornets gave up. But our knight, our hero, he was not to be vanquished by hornets. And so he sat and thought, as all good knights must. "Fire," he said. "Fire shall vanquish these hornets." And so he quickly made a torch and held it to the hive. Now, what you do not know is something that the knight learned very quickly, that even when they are on fire, hornets can still fly. And so our brave knight was swarmed by these flaming, flying hornets. And his lady once again grabbed the children safe, closing the cart safely for them. But since they were flaming, flying hornets, eventually they all died, and the knight had vanquished this great hive. And he set up their pavilion, and he and his lady and their 4 beautiful children had a most fantastic Penzic War. So, my friends, raise your glass high to the heroes of the Midrealm, our knights and their ladies.
Bravo. And would you mind informing people who that story is about?
That is the one and only Count Savaric and Countess Juliana.
Thank you. Yes, I love that story, and I appreciate you bringing it. They both are true heroes of the Midrealm. Our next performer is Bredelyn Brettelman. If you would please unmute yourself and take it away. Bredelyn, did you hear us? There you go.
I'm trying to. Behold, and pay heed to this teaching tale, that you may learn from it. In a time long past, before kings were kings, before honor was honor, a band of mercenaries rode in search of fortune and adventure, or adventure and fortune, whichever presented itself first. They came upon a village that was continually preyed upon by a band of thieves, taking food and whatever they could lay their hands on, leaving the village almost nothing. The village asked this band of mercenaries for help, though they had nothing to pay them. The mercenaries debated, and they debated what to do. They saw the plight of the villagers and how bad their situation was, and decided to help them. So the mercenaries taught the villagers how to fight. They showed them how to fight with sword and shield and whatever they could lay their hands on. They also showed them how to shoot a bow and arrow, so that when the band of thieves came, they would be prepared. They also built up the defenses in such a way that they can get in, but they couldn't get out. So one day, the thieves showed up, and the band of the mercenaries leader came up and challenged them. And the band of thieves guffawed and laughed at and ridiculed how few people they saw. And then the fighting ensued, and the mercenaries made mincemeat of the band of thieves, so that the band of thieves ran away, but they were caught in the trap, so more of the thieves died. Now, the villagers had assigned different boys to the different members of the mercenaries. And one person in particular, by the name of Bedouin, had 3 boys. He thought this was kind of cute, but also at the same time thought it was somewhat distracting and all that. Now, the mercenaries decided to go to the camp of the thieves and finish them off once and for all. But when they got there, they were gone. They didn't know where they went. They hadn't seen them leave. So they decided to return to the village. And when they got there, they didn't see any signs of activity. But when they got off their horses and proceeded with caution, all the windows of the huts of the villagers opened, and the band of thieves surrounded them. So the leader of the thieves told them to pack up and go. And when they went to their huts to pack their stuff, the three boys assigned to Bedouin were ashamed to live there because when the thieves returned, their fathers did nothing. They said, "Our fathers are cowards." And then Bedouin angrily looked at the boy and grabbed him by the collar and brought him down across his lap and spanked him. I don't ever want to hear you say that again, because your fathers, they are not cowards. You think I am brave because I carry a sword. Your fathers are much more braver because they carry responsibility for you, your brothers, your sisters, your mothers. This responsibility is like a rock that weighs a ton on them. It bends and twists them until finally buries them under the ground. Nobody says they have to do this. They do it because they love you and they want to do this. I have never had this kind of courage, running a farm, working like an ox every day with no guarantee what will become of it. This is bravery. This is why I never started anything like that, and I never will. At that point, the mercenaries were escorted out of the town. And then their escort left. And then the mercenaries, seeing that they had gone, picked up their weapons again and rode back to the village and surprised them and beat them all to smithereens. And finally, well, not finally, is in the course of the fight, that Bedouin, while he was shooting at one of the thieves, took an arrow and fell down from the top of the hut that he was standing on. And the three boys came, "Bedouin, Bedouin." And he lifted up his bleeding arm and pointed. "See your fathers? See what they do for you? They are the heroes."
Thank you, Bredelman, so much. And thank you so much for participating in our showcase this month. I really appreciate it. Our next performer is Hilda Gunner. So Hilda Gunner, if you would please unmute yourself and take it away.
Hello, my name is Hilda Gunner, Helder's daughter. These are my porgs, Skellig and Sage. And I'm going to do a piece whose words and music were written by a lady named Catherine Kane. It's called You Were Born to Be the Heroes. In the heart of every person is a spark of something more, something greater, something brighter than they've ever known before. And I watch the people around me with a heart that's full of light, and I see the greatness in you, and I honor it tonight. You were born to be the heroes. You were born to dream the dreams. You were born for something greater, no matter how that seems. You were born to live the epics, be they short or be they long. You were born to be the heroes, and I was born to sing your song. In the eye of the believer is a banner bright unfurled, for a dream can move a mountain, an idea change a world, and your dreams are all you need to be a hero, and you'll find that the greatest deeds begin within the visions of your mind. You were born to be the heroes, you were born to dream the dreams. You were born for something greater, no matter how that seems. You were born to live the epics, be they short or be they long. You were born to be the heroes, and I was born to sing your song. There are little deeds of kindness, there are acts of courage too. There is wisdom and compassion, and it all begins with you. Don't believe you have no power, you are greater than you know, and your actions do have meaning and will help the world to grow. You were born to be the heroes, you were born to dream the dreams. You were born for something greater, no matter how that seems. You were born to live the epics, be they short or be they long. You were born to be the heroes, and I was born to sing your song. And the world has need of heroes now more ever than before. So I call you to be greater, I call you to be more. Look within you for that little spark, that light you have to give, and the world will be transfigured and a better place to live. You were born to be the heroes, you were born to dream the dreams. You were born for something greater, no matter how that seems. You were born to live the epics, be they short or be they long. You were born to be the heroes, and I was born to sing your song. You were born to be the heroes, and I was born to sing your song.
Yay, thank you so much. That's a lovely song, and I'm so glad that you brought it to us this evening.
Thank you guys, and I want to give a special thank you to Robert the Perilous, who's the one I first heard this song from and who sings it amazingly and inspired me greatly.
Oh, yay, that's awesome. I love this theme. This theme is just getting me going. Our next performer is Haroon. So Haroon, if you would please unmute yourself and take it away.
Thank you, Your Ladyship. Good evening, Midrealm. This is a song that I wrote specifically for this occasion. So without sundering it with my words, I will just go ahead and get started. I hope you enjoy it. It's called We Are Surrounded by Heroes. We are surrounded by heroes. They are the mountains that climb to the stars. Lest we forget those who are the legends on which we build ours. Oh, the feasting hall roars in a fine merry din. A gnarled old graybeard sits with his kin. And suddenly he turns to me, and I am tumbling into his grin. 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 And then, yes, and then I'm standing on a field long ago. For Rion can helmets gird the heads of my foe. And I roar a great challenge and they fall down like weeds. The marshals clear the bodies of dead at my feet. Oh, they will sing songs of this day. 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 All at once, then it hits as the reverie slowly goes dim. The songs that they sing, they are sung about him. He laughs. You may not know my face, but my deeds, they are etched in this place. Oh, you may not know my face, but my deeds, they are etched in this place. But my deeds, they are etched in this place. We cram on the list field, the finals draw nigh. At my shoulder, a gray-haired lady stands by. She turns to me and suddenly I am caught by a gleam in her eye. I am caught by the gleam in her eye. I am caught by the gleam in her eye. I am caught by the gleam in her eye. And then I am younger, just a girl in the throng. And every day I must prove I belong. Hear it all on this list, and with my weapon held high, I will never be defeated, even if I should die. In honor and grace I will blaze the way. In honor and grace I will blaze the way. In honor and grace I will blaze the way. In honor and grace I will blaze. As I come back to earth, I realize I'm staring. And that's when I notice the white she is wearing. She shrugs. It was different back then, but I do it all over again. Oh, I do it all over again. Oh, I do it all over again. I would do it all over again. Deep in the kitchen, I know what awaits. Some nondescript gentle and a mountain of plates. But suddenly there are eyes on me, and I am sucked into the depth of their gaze, falling into the depth of their gaze, falling into the depth of their gaze, falling into the depth of their gaze. Then I am naming a kingdom on the day of its birth. I am feeding up my people with the salt of the earth. And I stand on the ground as the dragons take flight. For I am the wind that lifts them alive. Through me the dream comes alive. Whoa, through me the dream comes alive. Whoa, through me the dream comes alive. Whoa, through me the dream comes alive. As the vision departs, my embarrassment is clear. With a wink and a smile, in a whisper I hear. Who needs their belt or their chain when the worth of your doings are plain? Who needs wear their belt or their chain when the worth of your doings are plain? When the worth of your doings are plain. Oh, we are surrounded by heroes. They are the mountains that climb to the stars. Lest we forget those who are the legends on which we build our.
Yay! New music. Thank you so much for writing that for this showcase this month and for offering it to us. That was lovely. Our next performer, she's going to introduce her piece, and then it's actually a video. So I'm going to share my screen for you all. So Catalina, our newest Willow recipient, by the way. So huzzah to Catalina, yay! If you would please give us your intro and let me know when to share my screen.
Hello everyone, my name is Lady Lena, and for my piece tonight I am presenting Fear No More, The Heat of the Sun, and it uses the timeless words of William Shakespeare to remember some very special heroes. And at this time, Dame Honor, I request that the short film be played. Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to share my screen and take it away.
I am Lady Lena. What I love about the SCA is we honor history with great awareness, sensitivity, and the utmost respect. The 11th day of the 11th month of the year 2021 commemorates an important event in American history. On this day, 100 years ago, the unknown soldier was laid to rest in Arlington National Cemetery. As a veteran, and one who has lost an uncle to war, it is of great personal importance to me to honor the 100th anniversary of the unknown soldier's interment. Using the words of Shakespeare, the music of Roger Quilter, and archival photographs, I honor those who served in World War I and World War II. In a temporal sense, these world wars seem far away. However, the faces of the American heroes in the photographs bring the struggles closer to our time. You will see a young soldier who carried a picture of the Kaiser as a talisman for luck. Highly decorated officers who were awarded France's Croix de Guerre, and other courageous members of the armed forces and the American Red Cross. Among those heroes are Medal of Honor recipients who paid the ultimate price. I dedicate this program to the memory of the unknown soldier. May you forever rest in power, and may God bless you. Fear no more.
sorry, my technical abilities aren't that great. And I'm like, how do I stop sharing my screen? Thank you so much, Catalina, for putting that video together. And someone asked me to turn up the volume on that, but that was actually as high as my computer could go. So I'm so sorry. But I did message a friend and she did say she could hear it. So on Facebook. Our final performance is brought to you by the Honorable Lady Hilda, our kingdom's newest Dragon's Heart recipient. So Hilda, if you would please unmute yourself and take it away.
Thank you very much. So we've had new songs and that. I'm bringing forth an old song. In my years of studying, I was inspired by the stories of the standard bearers who would go out into the field of battle with just the flag or the banner of their king, their lands, and be a rallying point. And so I was inspired to write this song for them way back, and found it again, dusted it off. The tune is the traditional Irish tune, The Rocks of Bawn. And it is called The Standard Bearer because I'm not good at writing titles. In the passing years uncounted, a dreamer wove his tale. Upon his fine horse mounted, was girt in shining mail, was girt in shining mail, for on journeys long to roam, and never did return again to family, friends, and home. The sun in all its splendor shone bright upon his shield. No word spoke of surrender, not ever would he yield. Not ever would he yield, though his foes would fain him slay. And long and clear his horn did sound before he rode away. His wife, she wept in sorrow, and candles did she burn, to light the next tomorrow, awaiting his return. Awaiting his return alone, his son to him she bore. And then in grief herself laid down, and spoke not evermore. The years went swiftly flowing, the boy a man became, and heard the wild wind blowing, the whisper of his name. The whisper of his name it called, to take his horse and ride, and join the field of battle, whereon his father died. Through blowing snow deep drifted, through winter into spring, the standard kept uplifted, the banner of the king. The banner of the king to bear, no spear let it strike down, but ever boldly let it wave o'er fields of great renown. For 26 summers his faithful duty kept, then fighting countless numbers, from liege and friend was swept. From liege and friend was swept, and fell upon a hill of green. Yet waving proudly on the wind, the standard still was seen. His body then they carried, his deeds they sung and praised. On field of battle buried, a mound above him raised, a mound above him raised, with his shield laid at his side, his green graveside upon the field where once his father died. Now proudly tell his story, it well could be your own, a song of hope and glory, a name the wind has known, a name the wind has known and called, if you your oaths uphold, with courage and with honor, and let your heart be bold.
Bravo. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Thank you, Hilla, for singing that. And actually, I was wondering, Hilla, if you would, I totally forgot to ask you before, but would you maybe talk a little bit about the amazing upcoming Bardic War that's happening in May?
In May, we may be having a war. Haha, puns. Yes, in fact, we are having a war. We are having the first Bardic War from May 15th through 23rd. It is going to be an ethereal event, so do not worry. We aren't breaking any rules here. I know that we're shenaniganers. Anyway, the thing is that we haven't broken any rules. So there's that. It's going to be live and also recorded. And we have our Bardic General, Honor von Atzinger, and also her Lieutenant, Lieutenant, what? Deputy. Yes, her deputy, Tommaso. And we are going to be having not just Bardic events. We are going to be having A&S events. We are going to be having events for heralds. We are going to be having events for scribes. We are going to be having events for fighters. We are going to be having events for actors, for fighters, for rapier people, for equestrians, and for fools. And we even have horses.
Hey. It's going to be amazing. The point is, I am going to share this evening to the Kingdom page, as well as some of the various art pages, the link to the survey that we want people to fill out if they're interested in participating in the war points specifically. You do not have to fill it out if you just want to participate in all of the other activities that will be made available. But we would love to get a head count of who wants to participate in the war points, because we are going to be limited on how many people are allowed to participate in that. So we have allies, by the way. We have 5 other kingdoms allied with the Midrealm. Let's see if I can say them off the top of my head. Oh gosh. Anstiora, I'm going to try to do it alphabetically too. Anstiora, Callantir, Glenaubin, Meridies. Oh, tell me. No, unmute yourself, Hilla. Who is it? Shh. I'm not supposed to swear.
North Shield.
North Shield. Oh my gosh. And it was alphabetical. Dang it. I knew I was missing somebody. North Shield. Okay, so I am super stoked about this. We're actually having a meeting on Sunday with all of the generals for the allies to discuss how the war points will be divvied up, so that we make sure that it's fair for each kingdom to be represented. But please, please, please fill out the survey. If you couldn't tell, I'm actually stalling for a special surprise. Someone is going to be hopping onto this Zoom for somebody, and they haven't done it yet, and I'm trying to tell them to join. So
we also have we have 65 classes right now.
Oh, and if you want to teach a class, please, please, please go to, Hilla sent it to the chat, the www.bardicwar.org, and it has links for everything. So please, please, please join. Good night, Zof. We love you dearly. Please sign up to teach classes. Please participate in the activities, and please tell your friends. We have a lot of people in the kingdom and outside of it who don't do Facebook. And I really, really want them to be able to participate as well. Hilda Gunner is pointing to herself right now. So please tell your friends about this because we want everyone to participate. If you're not sure how to get the link to them, message me, PM me, email me, send me a carrier pigeon, whatever you want to do, and make sure that you get them the info, or I'll make sure to get them the info. So anyways, I'm telling this person to join the Zoom because it's a special surprise and they're not joining it. So what else can I talk about? Oh, the next Bardic Showcase next month. It's going to be on April 23rd. And the theme, I actually have decided early because I never decide. I usually am very late about deciding the theme. So the theme is actually going to be a free for all. I want to hear your best piece, period. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's happy. I don't care if it's sad. I don't care if it's a story. I don't care. Just give it to me and make sure it's amazing. So also tell your friends because I want everyone to participate in the next month's Bardic Showcase because I'm also going to be treating it kind of like a Bardic War practice. Because the Bardic War, there are two different types of war points. There are live war points, so ones where you will be performing live, and then and you'll be judged live, and then there are asynchronous war points where you're going to actually record yourself doing a performance. So make sure to keep an eye out for all of that. Hilla knows more than I do because I'm just the general. So they just tell me what to do and I say, all right, I'll do it. But anyways, I promise they're coming. Okay, so the person said that they're in the Zoom, but I don't see them. If you're on the Zoom, say something. I don't see them. I'm going to message them again. Sorry, guys, but it's worth it. I promise. Sarai, did you see anybody join? Sarai may not be on anymore. No, I don't get a scepter. Somebody asked if the Bardic General gets a scepter. Maybe for next year. The goal with this Bardic War actually is to have it every year and eventually have it live and in person. So this is just the first time we're doing it. It's very exciting. Yeah, he says he's in, but he's not. So. Ah, there he is. Take it away. Well, he's connecting to audio. But it's a special treat. You're all welcome. And by the way, he is coming to us from across the ocean in Japan. So we're connecting audio and it's a little bit tricky. And Master Tanis is suddenly starting to realize what's going on.
Hey, Kellen.
Hi, Dad.
Welcome.
I'm doing well. Sorry.
All right, Kellen, you got to sing us a song, man. This is a Bardic Showcase.
Yeah, can you do the building I'm in? I'm currently talking to Dad.
What time is it there, Kaylin?
Oh, my audio's not working very well. It's not working.
Yes, it is. We can hear you.
I can't hear you guys though.
Start singing. Sing.
I'm here to wish. I was coming along to wish you an early happy birthday, Dad.
All right, I don't think he'll be able to sing, but I really appreciate everyone joining and for going along with this. Everyone, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. And Sarai, if you want, can you make me the host so that I can leave it open for Tanis and Kaylin for a little bit?
Sure, I'll make you the host. 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 I'll make you the host.
Maybe, Sarat?
Give me a sec. Stop the live stream and let me stop the recording.
I can reach out to him separately and connect with him. That's fine.